Here's something most women don't know. Men need to feel desired. I say need because I really believe that feeling desired is part of the fullest expression of most folks' sexualities, whether they're male or female. And therefore, if you are going to experience the fullest expression of your erotic and sexual self, then feeling desired is a part of that. Just like feeling seen, feeling known, and feeling accepted are all critical for having a great romantic or erotic relationship. Let me explain a bit more. Men very rarely get the experience of feeling desired. They even rarely get the experience of feeling wanted. Unless there's something in particular that they are able to contribute, in which case their contribution is wanted, whether that's like their physical body or their financial powers. Like they are wanted because of what they can do and what they can provide, not just based on who they are and that they are human. So many men go through their entire lives feeling a relative lack of desire. And there are moments, a handful in the average man's life, where they feel extremely desired. Maybe they're fortunate enough to have a relationship with a woman where she lets them know how much she desires him. Maybe they're fortunate enough to have a relationship in which their partner communicates her desire and it's authentic and it feels good and she really does earnestly desire him. But the average man, in even the average relationship, will not experience a ton of outward, expressive, spontaneous, initiating desire. Most women, and speaking from my own experience, do not understand how men experience the world in terms of desire. Most of us experience this wave of desire. It happens somewhere around puberty. Maybe we get breasts, maybe we have some kind of a growth spurt, and all of a sudden we are feeling desire, but it is unwanted. We feel the desire of men around us in public. We might feel the desire of our brothers, friends, or even family members. It's very weird, and it feels, for most of us, uncomfortable. Sort of like tsunami of unwanted attention. And we're suddenly aware that we are desired in this way that we've never been desired before. As a little girl, you're wanted. People may tell you that you're cute and beautiful and, be the flower girl at my wedding or whatever, but desired is a very different experience. And then we come into our own sexuality. Hopefully it's a healthy one. And then we experience desire in return. Suddenly men's desire, or I should say other teenagers, boys' desire or girls' desire, feels more welcome and feels safer and more acceptable. So when you experience desire for someone who's, say, in your own age range, who has similar experience, someone who you know or familiar with, have a crush on, are in love with, then you feel this exchange of desire and it feels a lot safer for women. And then slowly over time, women develop this experience of desire where, for many of us, especially if we have any sort of pretty people privilege, or we meet some conventional standards of beauty, we feel kind of this constant hum of desire throughout our lives. We experience it in peaks and valleys. We may experience it at various stages of our life, more and less. Then something wild kind of happens when you are in your mid-30s where you experience less of it. And then I can't speak to anything after late 30s, but I assume it's going to continue to go in this direction. So somewhere along my 20s is when I felt the most just sort of ambient desire happening kind of around me at all times. And then I started to feel less of it as I have aged a little bit more. I also think that my energetic boundaries are a lot stronger. When I used to go out and I didn't have any boundaries around me, I think people's desire kind of crept in a whole lot more, and now I really know how to hold myself. I keep space around me, but I still notice when I'm hanging out with my male friends at a camping festival or at a party and then they leave, that all of a sudden men will still come up and approach me. And again, it's a privilege, right? Women complain about this, but it is really nice because also it lets us know that we are desired. People want us. They may not be people that we want back. Imagine going through your whole life knowing that you are desired, knowing that someone desires you. It's not always reciprocal, doesn't always feel good, but let's just call it what it is. Now, on the other hand, we have men. Imagine for a moment, if you are a woman, what it would feel like to not feel desired, to maybe even feel the opposite, to feel slightly undesired or unwanted. It's a very different way of moving throughout the world. And we could give so many different examples. Women experience more platonic touch. It's more acceptable for us to hug people. People touch us in public. I'm not saying it's always a good thing, right? But I don't have to worry about whether or not people are gonna step away from me when I come into a store or get in line behind someone. I'm not physically threatening to most folks. And so most folks don't protect themselves from me. They don't close up when I'm around, right? They remain open to me. They're gracious with me. They're patient with me. They open a door for me or wait for me to finish unloading or whatever. They maybe offer to help me with a heavy box. There's this experience that women have where we're constantly being communicated that we're okay, we're wanted, and there's experience that men have that is the opposite to that. All of which is to say that in my work with men, when they have had the experience of feeling deeply desired, the way that it has touched them and moved them and created openness in them, created satisfaction in them, created space for emotionality and pleasure that they didn't even know was possible. These have been life-changing and transformative experiences for these men because they haven't experienced it before, and it takes so little to give that experience to your man. You don't even have to be sexual with a man, although I highly recommend that you let a man that you are sexual with know that you desire him so that he can have this experience. You can let a man know that you desire him without ever being in physical contact with him. You can use your words to let him know that he's attractive, that he's worthwhile, that he is valuable. You can do that and say, I'm not interested in having a sexual relationship with you, but I want you to know that I think you're really attractive. I said that to someone recently. I was like, hey, I'm not available for any kind of flirtation, but I want you to know that if I had been, I find you very attractive and very interesting, and I would have loved to flirt with you if we had met at a different time. That was meaningful for him to hear. If you are in a sexual relationship with a man, I invite you to do something that demonstrates your desire for him. Initiate sex with him, come on to him, plan a date for him, plan a trip for him, plan a sexual experience for him, initiate physical touch, initiate contact, initiate flirtation, initiate romance. Of course, these are things that we often look to our male partners to do. We expect them to initiate sex, we expect them to plan dates, and that is lovely, and I hope that he is doing that for you. But whether or not he is, secondary to that, what can you do to let him know that he is desired? What can you do to let him know that you want him, that you want his body, you want his mind, you want his sex, you want his beingness, you want his aliveness, you want him? Try it out. Just an idea. See where it goes. What you do with that could look a lot of different ways. It might be like giving him a lingam massage with no expectation of anything in return. Making one of his sexual fantasies come true, whether that's like literally coming true or making some kind of fantasy come true. Like if he wants to have a threesome, could you play with that in such a way that feels good for both of you? Like put on porn or your favorite YouTuber in the background. Just kidding. There are couples that do that with me. I'm not suggesting that you do it. If he wants to have an MMF threesome, you could bring a dildo in and pretend that that's a whole other guy, or you could plan a getaway at some kind of play party or something for him. I'm not set on what it looks like. It's going to be specific to you and your man and your relationship and what feels good for you. But what can you do to let your man know that he is indeed desired? Men need it. It matters. Our worlds would look very different without it. If you are interested in understanding more about men's sexuality from a holistic perspective, both his physiology, but also his mindset, his emotions, sexual history, his family of origin, his relationships, his culture, etc., that is why I wrote my book, Harder, Better, Longer, Stronger. It is a holistic look at men's sexuality. For too long, we've been treating men's sexuality as if it's not complicated, as if it's just straightforward, as if it's like get up and get off and quit complaining. And the truth is that men are just as complex as women, and they deserve just as much care and consideration and nuance brought to the challenges that they face. If you really want to understand what's going on for your man, or if you're a man and you want to understand what's going on for yourself, I wrote this for you. Check it out. Link is in the description below. You can get it on all major retailers, wherever you buy books, wherever you listen to audiobooks or download ebooks. Let me know how you create a desire in your relationship in the comments below. I'm Caitlin B. I'll see you here on Thursday. Bye.